Hi, this is Paul Edwards with Danmark Company. How y'all doing today? I'm going to go on and go over some information with the portable spray system. The portable spray system is available both on a portable cart, or you can also put it just on a table, that's stationary table, and I'm going to be going over the stationary table design today. But first of all, I want to go over troubleshooting. So let's start off with safety first. Anytime you're going to go on and use any kind of a device that sprays any kind of a chemistry, you want to make sure you take safety precautions. The first thing you want to do is make sure you're using nitrile latex gloves or nitrile gloves. Latex gloves will work but you got to make sure that the chemical resistance is there. Sometimes you can work with a chemistry that's a 1 pH. You can work with chemistries that have a corrosive label on it that might be strong, you know, when you apply it. So that's the thing to keep in mind is, you know, the chemistry, what the pH is, and what the concentration that you're actually applying. If you're applying a 5% of solution by weight, that's a significant amount of chemistry at 5%, okay? So keep that in mind. Then the next thing you want to do is make sure that you've got safety glasses. That's what we got here, some safety glasses here to look at. So you have safety glasses that you want to wear around a production area. And then we're going to also tell you that the portable spray system by Danmark also has a wireless remote capability, so you can use a wireless remote to turn it on or off, or you can go on and have the pedal switch, and when you press the pedal down, it will spray. When you let the pedal up, it stops spraying. So there you go. That's some basic information. Now we're going to go to the next scene. Okay, now what we're doing is we're taking a look at the tank. That is the holding tank for the chemistry. As you can tell by looking at this, I have quick disconnects on the tank itself. So that's a quick disconnect. All you do is turn that knob to the left to open it and disconnect it, or to the right to tighten it up. I'm going to demonstrate that here. See, so you got that right there. Now, see that water that came out? That water there is what I use, okay? Whenever we're going to do studies that are regarding safety, my recommendation is always that you use water to go on and allow yourself to test your product, test your capabilities, but you want to use water because you don't want to hurt yourself or people around you, and you don't want to have chemistry on your floor when you're doing some testing. So that's one thing that's a good thing right there, is that I had thought this through in advance, and I put water in the tank. Right next to it is your relief valve. That empties your tank. So if you have chemistry in it that you're going to throw away, particularly the chemistries that we work, which is acidified sodium chloride or citric acid, ready to use or concentrate, that right there needs to go down into a drain. So you would hook a hose directly to that ball valve there, and you'd go directly to the drain, and you would follow it with a copious amount of water to dilute it, going into the drain. Okay, and then I'm going to take the cap off. And anytime you're using the chemistry, in this case there's water, you want to go on and make sure that the cap is on it. So that's what it looks like without the cap. This is what it looks like with the cap. So the cap fits perfectly on there. So that's what that looks like, okay? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the next part of this training here. Okay, now here we are looking directly into the tank. Even though I know I'm dealing with water here, I'm going on and using my latex gloves. These happen to be double XL gloves. I don't like my gloves fitting me tight. I just want them to be on, okay? So one thing I want to demonstrate to you is I've got this this check valve. You see that right there? Did you see what just happened there? When I pulled this out, the water started to drain back out of this. Did you see that? Let me try that again, make sure my camera, see that? Okay, that means right there, what you just saw, that means that there's head pressure on the chemistry, okay? So that means that that tank is feeding a pump, the pump is feeding another tank, and the head pressure in that tank is causing the chemistry to flow back into the tank. In this case, it's water, okay? But I'm just saying that you need to keep that in mind. So what did I do to overcome the head pressure? Well, I put in a filter check valve. That blue foot valve there, or blue, whatever you want to call it, foot valve. You can call it a filter. You can call it a check valve because it's got a check valve built into it. That device right there, I have inserted into my pipe, my tubing. So basically what I do is I just prevent that, what you just witnessed, from occurring, okay? I'm going to do it one more time so that you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, I'm going to grab the tube, pull this out. See that? That's head pressure, okay? You want to avoid that. Now the other thing that filter check valve allows us to do, it guarantees that we have a flooded suction. That's another thing that we want to talk about right now, okay? So what if I wanted to create a flooded suction? And what flooded suction means is that the pump that's sucking in the, in this case, water, is completely flooded from the inlet of the tubing to the inlet of the pump, okay? That's called flooded suction. The pump is going to suck, okay? But because two things is happening here. One, we have a filter check valve, and the second thing is that the level of the water that's in here is greater in depth than this fitting right here, okay? So that means that the fitting is underneath the water. Now, if you needed to add more water to create that, then I suggest that you do that. Get yourself, you hear that in the background? I'm filling it up with water. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that, and it's filling up, so you're listening to me fill it up with water. And so basically what happens is I can fill that further above the level of this line. But if you look at it here right here, see that? See how much above the level it is? Okay? It's at least 2.5 inches right now above the tubing and above that adapter there. So this is tank adapter. This is either call a bulkhead fitting or tank adapter, whatever you want to call it. But the water's above that, okay? So now it's a flooded suction, okay? So I'm going to my next part of this training, but I just want you to understand that if you call me up and you say, Paul, I can't get my pump to suck, the first thing I'm going to ask you is, do you have a filter check valve on there? And if you say no, then I'm going to say you need one. But if you say, yeah, I have a filter check valve, and I go, okay, have you disconnected the filter check valve to see if water goes back into the tank? I'm not going to ask you about chemistry. Why? Because I think you're as safe as I am, and you're going to go on and empty your chemistry out, and you're going to have water in there. I mean, we're troubleshooting a system. You shouldn't be working with chemistry pumping out of a line into your hands and skin and face and so forth. So you want to work with water when you're troubleshooting a device, okay? So what I would do is I would ask you to say, hey, did you pull the line out? Did you take out the filter check valve? And did you see that it dripped? Yes, it did drip. Okay, good. And that means that you have water in your line. So I'm looking to make sure you have water in your line. You have a filter check valve. Now we're going to go to the next training because this is what we're going to talk about applies to that. Okay, this is Paul. I'm back, guys. Now, for the purpose of this training, I am on the outlet side of the spray tank, okay? The only reason I'm out on the outlet side of the spray tank is I'm doing this training. Normally, people that operate this system operate on the opposite side of the portable spray system or this table-based spray system. and basically you wouldn't be where I'm at now. You'd be on the opposite side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you that I've got a pump system that's on the bottom there, and it's rated, and I'll give you that specifications later on, but it's rated to fill the nozzles that I have there. Now, one of the other things too is that I've started to do is I've included this clear side view, and that clear side view is the outlet side of the tank. So what happens is when you're spraying, the tank is going to start accumulating an antimicrobial agent within it. In this case, we're accumulating water in it, and it has to have a place to go, and so it drains, okay? There's a cutout in the tank right here, and so that excess antimicrobial agent is draining. And I want you to notice that what we recommend and what we do here at Danmar is we go on and drain directly into a tank. Okay, so that tank right there could be diluted, it could be neutralized, it could be done whatever you need to do before you discharge it, okay? And everybody's been into a plant and everybody knows that chemistry, normally what it does is it goes directly into a drain, but there are some cases where it falls directly onto the floor, and we do not condone that kind of practice. What we recommend is that you put that line directly into the drain, okay, and you're welcome to run a rinse if it's required. Rinse directly into the drain to dilute. Or you can do what we're doing, which is what I'm recommending, which is to drain into a tank, treat it, and then dilute it. So anyway, that's why we have that collection basin, and it's 5-gallon tank, and you can see it goes in there. And then for the purposes of this training, I'm going to trigger the spray system over on this side. I want you to listen to this. Okay, I'm fixing to trigger this. You hear the pump in the background? Okay, right now that's spraying, okay? And that spraying is going on into some spray nozzles, and I'll demonstrate that here in a second. Okay, there's not enough accumulation in the tank that it's going to go on and start to drain yet. So I just want you to let you know that that's where the draining occurs, is there, okay? We go to our next section. Great, this is Paul Edwards again. We're back here and we're doing training again. Now this time we're dealing with the spray system. This is the Danmar portable spray system, and basically what I'm showing you right now is that you have a tray that you put your product in, and the tray goes into the middle of the tank, and then you see here that you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 nozzles there, 1, 2, 3, 4 nozzles on the bottom. It's a total of 8 nozzles, and the nozzle's width and the nozzle's orifice is designed to give you the spray that you need, and these are validated sprays, okay? So these sprays have been validated for microbial reduction, okay? So I wanted to show you that. And the other thing too is that I want you to know is that Danmar, with their spray systems, they go on and include a totalizer. And what a totalizer does, it tells you how much total antimicrobial was sprayed on the treatment, okay? So for validation purposes, that's very important to know. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick this tray back in, because I'm going to do some additional training with the tray in place. Now, once again, I'm using water, folks, okay? So when you're going to go on and validate, or you're even going to troubleshoot a system, you want to do it with water, you don't want to do it with chemistry. Now, when you're doing a validation study, or you're going to go on and start using this, you want to make sure you have an antimicrobial agent that's going to do the job for you. At Danmar Company, we offer acidified sodium chloride and chlorine, acidified sodium chloride, calcium hypochlorite, as well as citric acid ready to use, or a concentrated version for this. So some of you saw me put that towel in. You're probably wondering, why did Paul put the towel? Okay, well, first of all, I want to do some training, but I don't want to get sprayed in the face, okay? So that's very important that I don't get sprayed in the face. So I'm going to go on and press this pedal again. This time you're going to hear that pump in the background. You're going to watch it spray, okay? See that? Right upon demand, that thing comes on, okay? If I have a flooded suction, then that's basically going to give you the coverage. Now, One of the things I want you to notice, okay, you see this angle here. Let me go on and see if I can get this centered in here real quick. Okay, your nozzle has a normal span, okay? And if you look real closely there, the span, see that span there? There's a span here, a span here. That span opens up as it goes in here, okay? The same here, there's a span there, and a span there, and there's a span there, and a span there, and there's a span there, and a span there, okay? So right now I've got this thing depressed. There's a span in the bottom too, okay? If I pull this back, you see that sprayed me in the face, okay? That's the reason why I have the towel, okay? This is a high volume, high pressure system that we're working with. It may not look like it, but it is, okay? And so what happens is just that period of time that I was talking, probably less than a minute or maybe 2 minutes, I have 0.2 gallons per minute, okay, on my totalizer, okay? You guys are probably saying, Paul, I want to see the totalizer. Well, hold a second. Okay, folks, there's the totalizer, and as I said, it's 0.2 gallons per minute. I'm going to go on and clear this. Oh, actually, let me back up, okay? I just said something that's really not quite accurate, okay? It's 0.2. Okay, was what was applied, not gallons per minute. So 0.2 gallons. The only time that you know what the gallon per minute spray is that if you hold a timer right next to it and you run it for 1 minute, and then you compare after 1 minute what that totalizer says. So let me back up. I don't want to confuse you, and I definitely don't want to confuse me, okay? So I'm going to press that button again, right? This time what I'm going to do is I'm going to count out loud. Didn't press it long enough. There it is, 0.000. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to count out loud. And here's the 3 things you're going to hear. First of all, you're going to hear the spraying, okay, from the pump. You're going to hear the pump, okay. It's going to go, eh. Then you may be able to hear spraying on the background. And then finally what you'll be able to hear is you're going to hear the draining of the solution, okay, because the solution now has gotten to a point where it's accumulating. At the very end of my training, I'm going to show you what that solution looks like in the tank. So I'm going to start, and I'm going to count out loud, and I want you to see how much chemistry or water, in my case, was applied during that given time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, I just depressed it for 10 seconds, and now all of a sudden you see that that's 0.1 of a gallon per minute in 10 seconds. Okay? Now, I'm going to show you some neat little things here, okay? I'm going to show you math in the head, okay? Math in the head. Some of you guys are sharp out there, you're smart. You can figure things out because you're really, really, really good. I'm not that way, okay, folks? I'm going to try, but then we'll do the math later on and we'll confirm it, okay? So I was spraying for 10 seconds. We have 0.1, okay? So now let's say, how many ounces are there in a gallon? There's 128 ounces, okay? So 128 ounces, what's 1/10 of 128 ounces, okay? It is 12.8 ounces. So in 10 seconds, we ran 12.8 ounces, okay? So if you wanted to know what the gallons per minute is there's 60 seconds in a minute, okay? We ran it for 1/6 of those 60 minutes for 10 seconds. So you take 12.8 and you multiply it by 6, which is 1/6 of a minute. You multiply it by 6, and that tells you what gallon per minute that the pump was running for. So guys, you do it in your head. I'm not going to try, okay? I'll be honest with you, I'm not going to try. But I have a calculator that's going to tell me, okay? But some of you guys already know the numbers. You guys are that smart. You're that sharp. You did the math. 6 times 12.8, and bam! You had the answer. I'm proud of you. You did a good job. Okay, I don't have the answer. I'm sorry, okay? But I'll get it to you later. Okay, now I'm going to move to the next training. Finally, we have the tank that we've been depositing used chemistry to. And good. Here, let me press this. Press this button again. Let's get the pump pumping again to start filling that tank with water. You see that draining right there? See that? Hey, guess how long it takes to fill that tank? Okay, so after you take the 6 and multiply it by 12.8, and then you multiply that by 5 gallons, that will tell you how long it takes to fill that 5 gallons, okay? But you can tell that at that little small little drip, it's going to take a while, okay? So I really appreciate your interest in Danmark Company's videos. You know, a long time ago I learned that, you know, just making it available to our customers, they don't call me and ask me a lot of questions because they have all the information available to them on video, and so we're just so proud that we've been able to do that. But I'm always available. All you have to do is call me up at 817-822-5767, 817-822-5767, or email me at danmarco1@msn.com. That is danmarco1@msn.com. Paul Edwards, I'm always available. I'll be happy to talk to you. And last but not least, our website, www.danmarco.net. That's www.danmarco.net. Thank you very much. You have a great day.